Hello, tonight I am going to do a memecoin update, but I thought I would start with a look at what's going on in Bitcoin, mainly because we're seeing some pretty interesting price discovery above the $90,000 level, which I had as a bit of a target. So just wanted to talk about what I do when I see that happen. So let's talk about why this is a weekly chart. I'll take everything off, and let's talk about why this is my target, because if I measure from the low that we made in November 2022, this I think was wave 1, a wave 2, big wave 3, wave 4, and we're in a wave 5. And very often this wave 5 has a mathematical relationship to wave 1. So if I put that on, I measure from this low to high, project it from here and use my fib levels. We pushed through the 1.618, which I thought was kind of going to be my initially first target, and then 89,980 was my second target, and we're having a look above it. I think as long as we're doing some price discovery, and when you do that, you kind of want to see it hold a support and keep going. And if we do, then next targets I think is 105 and potentially 115. Everybody's talking about the 100,000 level. But one thing I will say about Bitcoin is it's, can be very spiky when it makes these highs, and it's potentially, we're just in this sideways range. So I'm looking at it on lower time frames to see if we hold above it. And at the moment, it looks like it's going to try. However, I think I might buy a little bit back, but I will get out of the way if we can't make a new high, or if we end up just going sideways here. I'm a little bit concerned, especially with the length of the tail on today's candle. I think I might probably wait. I would like to see it really make a good foothold and hold above this level to keep going higher. At the moment, for me, this is just price discovery and not really a new upswing higher. I think we're already pretty overbought, pretty too much stretched on the upside for me for like new positions. So that's what I'm looking for in Bitcoin tonight. It's really bullish. It's really floating all the boats, and it's certainly making things exciting in the meme coin space. Everybody, it's pretty. I remember at the 5th of August, everybody was like pretty suicidal, the way everything was selling off, and we're back. There are two charts that I really like tonight. One of them, looking at for bottoming patterns. One of them is BOME, which is Book of Meme. It's a frog token. It's the second largest frog token, and it's a really nice, easy one because it trades on Binance. So we'll take a look at that one and why. And the other one I like is a dog token called Bert. But I will talk about Doge and what's going on with Doge, which of course is the big Elon Musk trade. Let me find Doge, which I've hidden as you do. Here we go. And I'll talk about why I took profit and rotated it into some other coins in Dogecoin. So when I look at this big chart of Doge on the weekly, you can see that we validate, for me, the fib retrace levels from the highs that we made in 2021 to the low that we made in 2022. We validated with this big back projection at this 236 fib, and the 236 fib for me is the first retrace level. It's like my touchstone. If you get a reaction there, I kind of tend to lean on all of the other fib levels, and we broke above it, and here we've tagged this 50% level. I think here in Doge we're likely to make a little bit of a wave 4 and continue higher, but it is quite possible with the way we have stretched on the upside with these Trump kind of win trades. It's possible that we could see a bigger retrace. And one of my favorite patterns, if you like, with fib retraces is if we reverse at this 50% and we close back underneath this 38.2 fib, which is at 0.32, we're likely to see a big 50% retrace. 50% or mean reversion tends to repeat. It coils up on itself. So that's quite a long way, back down to 0.32 from this 0.4 target that I had is quite a long way back. So I'm going to let this wave 4 play out and then look at it. I do think, obviously with Trump getting elected and Elon having a position in the government, I think this possibly has more legs, but at this point, I think it's a good place on this such a big spike to rotate out into some other stuff. Okay, let's talk about Book of Meme, why I really like this. Well, you know, it's obvious when you zoom out, just if we take the moving averages off, you know, you can see this is a very nice inverted head and shoulders pattern. And if we go from these highs, here's our pattern, and we're testing the neckline of it. Are we going to keep going higher? The other thing, as I said, I always look at the 236 fib. If I go from the highs here, this is a Binance chart, quite a nice long history. If we go from the highs of when it launched in Binance in March, you can see that we're also at this 236 fib level, 0.011. So if we can hold above 0.011, I think we should see a really strong move. 0.014 first target, and 0.017 would be the second target. So pretty nice and pretty even. You know, I really like the best head and shoulders patterns are pretty even left and right shoulder. So I'm looking at this one to see if we can go higher and if we hold on the pullback. So it's a little bit messy at the moment. Smoking chicken fish had a pretty nice little head and shoulders pattern, and they are being a little spiky around these necklines. But it should hold on the daily close if we're going to keep going higher. So that's what I'm watching for in Book of Meme. The other one that I really like in art is, at the moment, is Bert. Let's find Bert. Where have I hidden it? Here we go. It's on Solana. It's a little one. Now, if we look at what we've done since the low on the 1st of October in Bert, we made a big 3-wave rally. 1, 2, 3. Now, I'm hoping this is a 1, 2, 3, you know, but when you do this, or when you see a big 3-wave rally like this, and it's very common in new launches to see sort of 3-wave moves, the ideal retrace for me is a 786 fib, which is what we did here. And you confirm the reversal at your 786 fib by closing above. This is a daily chart. By closing above the 61.8, which we did here at 24.62. So this is a bullish reversal. We should from here go up at least to this 38.2, and then we should pull halfway back and keep going higher. But this, for this whole 3 waves, is kind of the ideal pullback level at 13.84, and it's bouncing really fast. Like, people are really, if you follow the volume and what people are moving into, this is one that's really moving into. So again, we should pull back to the middle, maybe fill this gap, and then Bert should go higher. Why is Bert on fire like this? And the reason that Bert is on fire is because there was an article about it in the New York Times, and how it's all about dog rescue. You know, Bert's a dog, the logo's a dog. Helping stray dogs or dogs in shelters is one of my favourite things. And if you put that in the New York Times, it's going to get attention, and it's going to make it kind of more likely to get a bigger centralised exchange listing. And certainly everybody who reads the New York Times will have read about it. So it's kind of a no-brainer for Bert. But like with everything, you have to buy pullbacks. I'm watching this on the hourly. I'm looking at this hourly pattern, and I think somewhere in the middle of this spike is where we should hold. It might only pull back to 0.0032, and I think we see more upside in Bert. New highs, and this is kind of one I really like, how we pull back to these moving averages. I'm going to try and hold this one and see where we go with it. Again, you know, there's quite a battle of the dogs. There's quite a battle in the animal meme coins, you know, for who they're helping and what. But you can't beat the New York Times, let's put it that way. So those are my 2 favourite meme coins tonight that I'm looking at. But let's talk about a few more, and where we are going with them. Let's talk about width. We go to the weekly in width. We had, this is a really nice breakout from this channel. So again, this is one where we had 3 waves back. For me, 786 was here, 61.8. Here's our 786. We've pushed through it. We've pushed through all of those kind of main resistance levels. So I think for me that this should see new highs, and this is a big 1, 2, 3 at worst. That would be the minimum target, and potentially higher. So this breakout level was where this swing was 61.8 of the first swing. This is on Binance on the chart, so there actually is going to be more history on other charts. But the first target then should be 4.9, and above 4.9 I think we go to the 1.618 of this first swing, which puts us up here at 7.3. It's always a little bit tricky around these previous highs and at this equal measured move level. So if you would like to see a pullback in this one, I think this is likely where it's going to happen. And so nice little three waves or pullback to the hourly moving averages for me is always ideal. I would be pretty bearish and not be buying this one if it dropped back underneath 3.45 in Bert. And that's that back test of the 61.8. So if I measure from this low to high, we shouldn't really fall back underneath 3.45 on a pullback here in WIF if we're going to keep going. Next one, I've got some requests to work through. Let's take a look at ladies. Got a few of them here. Hold on, here we go. Here's ladies. This is quite an interesting one when I look at this on the weekly. I know I talk about fib patterns all the time, and this is a really good example. So 786 all the way back to the 38.2 here in three waves, and then we pull back to the middle and we decide which way next. In this case, we went lower and we went down and double bottomed almost here at this 886 fib. Same fib rules apply when you bounce from an 886 fib and you close and hold above the 786 fib. Your first target is this 50% here in the middle, which would be at 22,647, and your second target is this 236 fib all the way up here. So first target, second target. I like the second higher target because if I measure from this low to high, project it from here, that's also where this is 61.8 of that first swing. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So if I measure from this low to this high, project it from here, they line up together back at these highs. So 32,000 basically for Milady. If we can hold above 10,731, because this is the sideways range that we're breaking out of. So this is what we've done, and this is where if I go down to the hourly, so far so good. We are holding above it. We've made a very nice three-wave correction here. So if we're going to hold this and go higher, I like this. This is our three-wave correction. I'm watching for this to turn higher from here, and those are the levels. First one, 22,647. Second one up here, 32 or 33,000 for ladies. I think this one is quite a good look. Request for Slurf. This is another one that's, now this really isn't, when I look at this, the best looking head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders, is it? It's quite a sloping neckline. However, you know, we could argue that maybe it is. We could draw it like this. And in general, if we're making a bottom or an inverted head and shoulders, I don't like them when they slope the other way. So when the slope is this way, because you kind of tend to grind along the line and you don't get anywhere. But this one is a pretty clear breakout if we do, because it lines up exactly with this newly minted daily 200 moving average as well, which we tried to break above and couldn't close above on the 15th of October a month ago. So I think if we can hold above this, make new highs, then our first target is going to be all the way up here, this 236 fib at 0.4687. If I go out to the weekly and look at this one, that is the 236 fib all the way from the highs when this launched in March, and it's also support and resistance, previous swing highs and lows. So I'm looking to see if this one can hold, keep going on the breakout, and if it does in Slurf, that's going to be the target level. Another one everyone is talking about tonight is Zigal, which has been around, of course, for a long time. And again, this one, if we go all the way back to the highs from August 2021 in this one, to the lows that we made in October 23. This is the 236 fib that we have really been fighting over since March. Exactly when Bitcoin made a high here, we've been going sideways in this consolidation, and today, of course, with the big news, This is moving higher on news, and it's broken above this 236 fib, which we tried in September, and we were a little bit sideways. And what I really like is how it was support here today. Again, nice little three-wave correction. We're on our way higher again. So this one for me has more upside. The problem is you've got to buy pullbacks, and it's gone a little bit too far. I would really like to see this have a little bit of a pullback here. You know, wrong scribble. Hold on. We can see a nice little pullback in this one. I think this one has more upside, and 0.1916 would be the next upside fib level, and that is also the highs when we bounced in 2021. So pretty interesting, good looking chart. Zigcoin, Zignali. If we can hold above 0.118, next upside is 0.191. Good luck.